Okay, for day 6, we are still in section 5.4. This time we're going to be writing an equation just given 2 points. As always, we'll be starting with our slope-intercept form of the equation, y equals mx plus b, our mantra. And in these problems, we're going to have to find the slope first. So number 1 will be to find the slope, to find m, and then we'll be finding the y-intercept. So the second thing we'll be doing is finding the y-intercept, b. In the first problem that they're giving us, I'm doing example 2 on page 281. They're saying write the equation of the line that goes through the point -3, -1, and also goes through the point 6, -4. So we could graph those 2 points and draw the line, but without graphing, we're going to do this algebraically, finding what the equation for this line is. So our first job is to find what the slope is. And when we're finding slope, we're going to go back to what we learned in the very first section, 5.1, using the slope equation, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And if you remember from that section, we can take either point and name it x1, y1, and this name the other point x2, y2, and then we just fill in this equation. So in this problem, you can be real careful with negatives and make sure that you always have a minus in between. So in this problem, I've got -4 minus -1, and on the bottom I have 6 minus -3. So to simplify that, I have -4 plus 1 on top, and I have 6 plus 3 on the bottom. On the top, that now gives me -3, and on the bottom, 9. I'm going to always simplify that slope, and this one would simplify to -1/3. So there's my m. I've got the first step done, finding the slope. Now, I'm going to go back to the method I used in yesterday's homework, where we now know the slope, so I'm going to substitute that in, and then I'm going to have to find b. So the second part of this problem is to find b. So I know now I have y equals -1/3 x plus b. And now I'm going to substitute in for x and b. And this time I have a choice. I have 2 different points, and I can use either one of them. In this problem, I'm going to use the second point just because it has fewer negatives. Less of a chance to make a mistake. So substituting in, that would give me -4 equals -1/3 times 6 plus b. And this is going to enable me to find b. I'm going to simplify by multiplying -1/3 times 6. So that's -4 equals, that's -1/3 times 6 over 1. That's 6 over 3, which is 2, and it's a negative. I'm just going to move over to my next slide and rewrite -4 equals a -2 plus b. Still solving for b, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. That gives me -2 equals b. If you remember, my slope was -1/3. It equals negative. Okay, so my slope is -1/3. Y equals -1/3 x plus b. And we know that the b is now -2. So I'm going to substitute that in. -2. And our equation is y equals -1/3 x minus 2. And that's your answer.